Good morning again. If you happen to catch that first live, I thought I heard somebody at the door, so I had to bounce off real quick. Anyway, let's start again. My name is Colleen Light. I am with Cards by Coco, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm happy you could join me live this Thursday at 9 a.m. That's the Pacific Standard Time. I come from a small town in Southwest Washington. Anyway, this is the adorable card we're going to be making today. Nice and springy. I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World, and we will get started with today's video. I'm really happy you could join me today. I also go live Mondays at 3 p.m. Let me see if I'm in the right screen here, if we look good. 3 p.m. on, what was I going to say? Thursday. No, Monday. Oh my gosh. Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I also do a YouTube live. My goodness, I'm off to a banner start this morning. So I hope you all are doing well. It's a kind of overcast day here in Southwest Washington. So it's a good day to kind of get some stuff done, I think. It'll be good. I think Lucy and I, who's our yellow lab, I think Lucy and I are going to go ahead and go out and take a walk. Oh, good morning, Jan. Take a walk in a little bit. So this is this month's host code. I tend to scoot it out of the way when I'm working, but if you are interested, don't forget it's celebration time, so that's always lots of fun. So you earn those free products when you place your orders. All right, so back to the card at hand. Let me know if I'm too close to the screen. I have a hard time telling here on this computer. It seems like I'm either a mile away or I'm way up close. So let me know what you think. Okay, going to scooch this out of the way. This is all about the joining special and that boho blue. It's just more or less an FYI if you want the best deal. This is it. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's bring back in our card for today and the measurements. I know I post all of these on my blog by the end of the day, but if you want to screenshot it, that's also good. This is just the start of it. Okay, so our color palette today is simple. We're using white, mossy meadow, and polished pink. Two colors I never thought I would put together, but decided to for this card, and I just love this. So the stamp set we are using today is this Around the Bend that you can find on page 35. Let me just even, yeah, a little bit here. On page 35. I think you will really like this. I like the curves here. I think there's a lot you can do with this set. Let me go ahead and show you the dies and the stamp set. So how great is that? Isn't that fun? So I love, love, love the dies. I'm going to be doing a blog hop this Saturday, so be sure to check back on my blog. Again, it's Cards by Coco for that other card. I'm going to be making a Valentine's Day card using this. I'll have to grab the sentiment from a different set, but I have some fun ideas and fun colors in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and start coloring the Pearl Basic Jewels with the dark Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend. On this card, I use the In Color Polished Pink, but I don't think it's popping enough. So I'm going to go ahead and color 3 of these, I think. Well, that one's not really adhered. So we'll color a few more just to see if I like this better. You make your first card, and then I think I'm going to just go there. You make your first card, and then you think to yourself, oh, I'm not sure. So then you go ahead and you just start playing around, which is the fun thing. And I think I say it every video. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do. Stampin' Blends, your basic pearls or your basic rhinestones are your very best friend to get the colors you want. Oh, good morning, Kathy. To get the colors you want if you don't have the proper embellishment that you like, because you can color on them, give them a second to dry. The markers dry very fast. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here. We have our card base, and it's standard. It's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4 Pop it up a little bit and pop it down. There we go. And let's go ahead and get this folded. So I hope you all are having a really nice day and a nice week. It has been nice here. It's been a little on the rainy side, so if you ever get those January kind of blahs, the weather's cold, I think, you start getting antsy for some nice weather. And then, so you actually don't need the second layer, which I cut at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. If you wanted to have a little crease right there, I'm going to just do that. You could actually stamp this little flower right here in the corner if you didn't want to add the second panel. The reason I did is your markers, your Stampin' Blend markers here, I'll show you on this. When you're coloring with your Stampin' Blend markers, it will show through on the back, which is not a big deal unless somebody is opening up their card. So what I like to do is if I'm using a white card base and Stampin' Blend markers, I will usually add this panel because then you can see the difference. It doesn't show through. It bled through on the second panel and not on my card base. So that's my hint for today, is to go ahead and just cut that extra piece of cardstock to stamp on. I think the inside of your card would look better. Now, I don't know how many people are really examining the inside of our cards, but for me, I kind of like just having everything clean and crisp. So for me, that's what works. Okay, I need to grab a piece of scrap paper real quick here, and here we go. You can see I was playing around with these flowers yesterday. So this is a fun set, with the sentiment, you are a blessing. I'm so happy for you. Just wanted to say thanks. Hello there. I like the curves. I like this little dotted piece there, that stamp. But I think it's just super multifunction, just has a lot of different things you can do with it. All right, let me grab a block here and we will get this stamped. And I'm going to stamp this in Mossy Meadow. I always have to leave my sample out so I can remember what I did. Do you all do the same? You make a card, you really like it, and then you're like, how did I do that? So let me go ahead and grab this Mossy Meadow. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop them in the comments or send me a message, and I am happy to answer it. Okay, so I just want to, there we go. Because this is the red rubber cling, you don't want to smash it because you can end up with that halo around it. So make sure that you are just gently tapping it down, straight up, and it works out better. Okay, so we're going to let this sit over here on the side. I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss machine, or at least I'll show you, maybe I won't. I think I will just show you the die I used and how I'm setting it up. So for this particular set, or this card, I use this very simple curvy die. And you can see here, I just made it go a little bit off the edge there to make sure it would cut. And that's how I got the curve right here. So let me go ahead and I'm going to take this over to my machine. I will be right back and get this cut. Okay, give me just 1 second here. So while I'm off the camera here, tell me what you've been working on, where you're watching from, what you're working on. I love to hear everything everybody is doing. I know I am all into these spring cards now. I had enough of winter cards and Christmas cards and everything else. And I'm really enjoying the new products in this mini catalog. And of course, I have my order coming. I think I told you last time I was on that I have my order coming. Let me bring this here. And I have some more celebration products coming and even more. So you can see here how nice that cuts. And it's got that little dotted line. And that's all I did. I just took off the corner and it just gives a nice little interest right down there, which I just love. Okay, so this piece is going to attach here, but let's go ahead and color this in. And I'm just going to use the light polished pink. So it's funny because I love, love, love the color pink. It's one of my favorites, but I don't demonstrate it very often, and I'm not really sure why, because it's actually one of my favorite colors. I have lots of pink things, lots and lots. So that's just that easy. I'm going to put a gem in the center, so we're going to leave that blank. And I'm going to grab this piece here. So these are the die cuts I use. So when you think around the bend, we all really focus in on these beautiful curved dies, right? And the stamps. I wanted to pull out, and you'll notice there's not even a stamp for it. I wanted to pull out these daisy-like flowers here to add to this nice card. Oh, and I didn't tell you what the DSP is. So the designer series paper I am using is actually the Awash In Beauty. And this is all I have left. It's some of my favorite. It's in the annual catalog. It's some of my favorite designer series paper. I've got to grab it out. That's what I'm using. I'm almost done with it. I'm going to have to order more. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So I just wanted to use these little daisies. I think they're so cute. So to put them together, so easy. So easy. So let me show you. I just took a dot. Of course, I have my silicone craft sheet, my favorite, and I put a dot right in the center of these daisies here. It's easier for me to put the dot in the center of the big piece than to try and manipulate this little piece. And then I cut and that's just basic white. Then I cut the center out of the polished pink cardstock, and I just popped that down there. Now, if you wanted to fancy this up, you could emboss it, you could add a little bit of Wink of Stella. There's plenty of things you could do if you wanted to fancy it up. This is what I liked. Sometimes I just like a very pretty, cute, simple card. And we're going to be, oops, got a little bit of glue there on the side. Give me just a second. I want to get that off. We're going to be doing a little bit of heat embossing here. Oh, Jan, you've been using the carrot stamp set. I didn't get that one yet, but I was looking at it again last night. I saw a really cute thing. I forget what website it was on, and they used them as the carrots as musicians. Anyway, super, super cute. And I thought, wow, some people really are creative. All right, so a little bit here, just a little bit there. I'll have to look and see when I'm done and if I can find it again. Okay, so I just want to pop my leaves right there. And I'm going to leave this pressed over here on my silicone craft sheet because glue doesn't adhere to this and it keeps your work surface nice and clean. So let's go ahead and a little bit glue there. So for those of you who've been following, I'm really heavy-handed with glue, and my New Year's resolution is to not use so much. Ta-da, just like that. How easy is that? Okay, I am going to go ahead and plug in let's see if that affected the light too much. I need to plug in my heat tool because we're going to do a little bit of embossing, which is so much fun because I wanted that to pop a little bit. My sentiment to pop a little bit. Here, let me show you here. There it is. And I had my heat tool out. Well, maybe we'll be using the heat tool. Oh, here it is. And I have a little bit of a smaller craft room. It's not huge, but it's just big enough that I'm telling you that I just have to move things. I'm going to warm it up for a minute. Just move things just a little bit out of my way and they're forever lost, it seems like. So let me grab a piece of polished pink. I just need a little scrap of that, and then we're going to go ahead and do some heat embossing. So my polished pink here is right behind me, and I can get a little scrap at. This is why I save all of my scraps like this. It just works so well to have them kind of laying around, and I've got my embossing buddy. This just helps remove some of the static here. So we'll do that. I'm going to grab my stamp. So if you are unfamiliar with the embossing kit, it is called the Embossing Editions Toolkit, and it is still available. All right, let's get out our Versamark here, which is just a tacky ink. So, and let me grab out my stamp, and we can get that. And I'm going to do the just wanted to say thanks. I am sending out a lot of thank you cards lately, which is so nice. You know, it's always so nice when people think of us. So I'm sending out a lot of thank you cards. And I think this one is so pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and just tap this straight down and then up. Okay, you know what? I'm using my double oval punch and I might have scooched that too close to that end. Let me see. Nope, it'll be perfect. It's good. I had to double check myself there. Let me bring out the rest of this kit. So it comes with this cute little tray, which works out really well. And I'm using the white embossing powder. Okay. Can you hear Lucy out there? She's starting to go a little bit. She turns a year old next week. For those of you who've been following, can you believe she's a year old? I'll be posting pictures of her next week in her party hat. Anyway, this is the heat embossing tool. And volume down if you don't want to hear it, but I want you to see how it melts. Normally I heat it up in advance. Sorry about that. But we will go ahead and just forge ahead. And you can see that ink start to turn. Isn't that so pretty? There we go. Perfect. All right, and let's go ahead. And I have my double oval punch here. And we're just going to go ahead and give that a snip. Just that easy. Oh, no, it's not that easy. I wanted to do it on, we're going to do this again. I wanted to use Mossy Meadow. That's the one because I needed it to pop and match the gems. Oh my gosh, guys, I am sorry. I am totally off my game this morning. Let's do it in Mossy Meadow. I think the Mossy Meadow looks better. In fact, I remember doing it yesterday in the polished pink, which is why I must have had that one on my mind. Because I did it yesterday on polished pink and you couldn't hardly see it. So I want to show you what it looks like on the Mossy Meadow. Let's go ahead and do this again. Sorry. And that one didn't, honestly, it didn't stamp so well anyway. So it's good to do it again. It'll only take a sec. And if you're catching the replay, let me know that too. I always love to know. And if you're catching the replay, you can just fast forward through this part. That's what I appreciate everyone who hangs in there live, though. I do. So tell me what else out of the mini catalog, the new one, that is your favorite. If you follow Stampin' Up at all, I love hearing what is your favorite and what you might like to see. I never know exactly what to order and what techniques or stamp sets you want to see. So let me know. I love to hear because I am just happy to order things that you want to see and demonstrate those. I and it kind of gets me. You know, the nice thing is when you all suggest things, it sometimes it'll take me a little bit out of my comfort zone because I will be working with maybe a stamp set or an idea that I hadn't considered. So much better. There we go. So much better. All right, now plug back in the other light. Perfect. All right, let's stamp this out. Let's punch this out. Perfect. And it's stamped better and it looks better and it'll match the card better. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I appreciate it. Give that a punch. All right, let's put this card together. So let's go ahead and do that. And Kathy, you're yearning to get back to crafting. Oh, decluttering. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. You know, and you had plumbing issues yesterday. We had some plumbing issues yesterday here at our house. Gosh, it's amazing how we can have things in common. All right, let's go ahead and glue this down. Plumbing issues are no fun. Ours, we live out in the country. Ours was a bit of a septic tank issue. It was easily fixed though, and not costly. So both those things made me very happy. When it's an easy fix and it's not costly, that makes me very, very, very happy. Okay, so just like that, easy, easy. And you see how that little flower just pops down there now, right? I want to start outlining my card so I know where things are going to go and make sure I get everything glued and adhered appropriately. So I know I want that flower there, so I'm going to do a couple of dots of glue on this. If you prefer to use the seal, you can. It's certainly not a problem to use seal if that's your choice. Okay, so I love Baker's Twine, and Stampin' Up sells the Essential Pack. Now, I don't know that this one I'm using came in the Essential Pack. I tend to, any twine I get in paper pumpkins or whatnot, I tend to just pop in this bag because I love to use twine so much. I go through it like crazy. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my seal. This is the Seal Plus that I have here. It just happened to be the one that I grabbed. Your normal seal will work just fine. And I'm going to make a bow. And I may use too much twine, but I'm going to make a bow that I'm not going to tie. I'm just going to make the bow loosely in my fingers and then pop it down like that. So it looks like a bow. And then play around with it. Like if your loop is too long, or like in my case, it's a bit twisted, play around with it for a second. See if you can get it to untwist a bit. And it's just that easy. Let me grab out my ribbon scissors and let's go ahead and get this on the card. And I can trim up these tails as I want and kind of play around with that ribbon a little bit more. Twine will twist. It just does. Twine twist, and that there's just nothing you can do about it. I guess you can play around with it a bunch. I'm not patient enough to do that. So for me, I'm not worried about it. I kind of like how this card looks with some of the imperfections, which is so funny because I'm a perfectionist in so many areas of my life, but this is not one of them. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this down. I'm going to hold on to that and pop this just down like that. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to leave these tails a little long. I like the twiny look. So anyway, and then this one is just going to pop right over here. So we're going to grab another dimensional and, oops, took up the paper with that. Let's grab another one. And pop that right there. And push right there, I think is good. I wanted to overlap that sentiment just a little bit. How pretty is that? All right, let's grab out these gems now. So this one has the polished pink. You'll have to let me know which gems you like better. This is the Mossy Meadow. I always like to hear what everyone else thinks. All right, so this is the one I'm going to pop right down here in the center of that flower, and then I'm going to bring this up here. Let's see. Now it's just really wiggling around, isn't it? And then go like that. And we'll put another one down here. I like to do things somewhat in a triangle. Let me see here. Oh, let's move that one out of the way. And let's put this one right there. I kind of like the Mossy Meadow better. I think it pops a little bit better. All right. And then we're going to adhere our card front. I tend to adhere my card front the very last thing in case I make a mistake. I don't have to throw out the entire card. That's what works for me. I know other people do it differently. And if you prefer a different method, there's no wrong way to make your handmade card. That is what I will say. You cannot make your card wrong. If you love it, then you have made it the right way. Okay, so you could put something down here, and I think I did. No, I didn't on that one. I would probably restamp. Let's do that. Let's restamp that little flower right down there. Um, if you want, you can go ahead and add another panel here. I'm not going to color on it because I already explained that it will bleed through. If you want, you could add this another panel in here, which is oftentimes what I will do when I'm writing on it. But because this is a white background, I'm just going to write here on my card and not add that layer. So these are the two cards, Mossy Meadow, Polished Pink. I'm really all about the Mossy Meadow. I may have to pick these polished pink ones off and go ahead and just change that to the Mossy Meadow because I like it so much better that way. So let me see if you have any questions here. I know, I think I'm going to. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. And Jan for watching and everyone else who's watched. So don't forget, I am back Monday at 3 on YouTube, and that's Pacific Standard Time. If you have any questions at all about this product or anything else, please just leave me a message. Other than that, I think this is the tutorial for the day. I appreciate you popping in. Have a wonderful day.